Hey everybody, man, welcome to another episode, man, of Southwest Detroit Chronicles, man. Uh, Today I'm gonna take you through Cobra Hood. Well, Cemetaryside. The neighborhood's really known as Cemetaryside. This, this neighborhood, man, has basically always been folks as far as I can remember. You know, at first it was a crew called the X-Men over here that was led by a guy named Mr. B. And this individual, Mr. B, you know, he had got shot and, you know, was paralyzed, man, from the waist down, so he couldn't walk. So he was in a wheelchair. That was like in the beginning of the 90s, and then, a big indictment happened. Like, you know, I remember the indictment when it happened because, I was young still, and the name of the operation was named That's All Folks. So, like the cartoon, so... driving down Woodmere here, Cemetery Street, turned off Woodmere and 4th Street. Now, so most of them guys somewhere down the line, man, this hood ended up becoming Cobra Hood. It was called IDC Hood, Insane Detroit Cobra Hood. So, a couple of the guys, man, like, this guy named AK that was killed in the 2000s or whatever, you know, he was part of this crew. That's one of the main ones, and another one named Devious that was also killed in the 90s by, they say their own crew did that. You know, another guy in the crew did that, man, to his own boy, man. So I really don't know what it's about. I really don't know too much about it. But what I heard that happened was, man, that the guy, man, one of the main original leaders from the Cobras that, you know, helped start it over here, got out and had a disagreement with him or something, man, or disagreement with this side of guys here because he didn't like the subgroup and stuff that was going on. Like I had told you guys in the previous video, man, the Cobras from over by 25th Street, man, they became DOCs because they had a falling out with the ranking, with the higher ranks of the Cobras over a ranking situation or somewhere. I already forgot, but yeah. So another group, because man, there used to be Cobras over by 14th Street also, by Corktown basically. So them guys also became, they started their own crew, man. A guy named Batman, he was a Cobra back in the day, and then he became, I guess he didn't agree with the Sam, or he had his own separate falling out with them, but he started off his own crew called WWGs, which the hood was on the other side over here. But yeah, they started Worldwide Gangsters. So, you know, these guys, they stood Cobras, but this was their main hood, Mandel and Ellesmere. So I'm right here in Woodmere. These buildings, man, coming up, man, to the right, they used to be tagged out by these dudes, man. And whoever the guy was used to do the drawings or whatever, or the graffiti, he was real good, man. And there was a bunch of people that was like that was real good, but see, like, I'm not here no more, but these guys used to draw real good, so these buildings used to be tagged the fuck out. So yeah, eventually these guys became Cobras, IDC. Well, one of the heads of the Cobras got out in the 90s. I think these guys had a falling out with them too also. And Mandel, which was one of the main hoods over here also. They used to be on Mandel and Ellesmere Deep. And you still can see some of their graffitis that have been covered up. But yeah, you know, they were over in this hood deep, but like I was saying, you know, a lot of these guys, man, they you know, they tore off in a way from the other group, from the other set, from the original main set. These guys, you know, they stayed Cobras, but they called themselves Insane Detroit Cobras. Now, like I said, when that main leader got out, you know, in the 90s, he ended up going back to prison for 6 natural life beds, Cobra Chewy, but You know, he had a falling out with these guys too, man, because these guys, I guess, they didn't want, you know, they're just, at that time, man, a lot of people was just this was the late 90s, man, and everyone was basically just wanting to do their own thing. Everyone was still claiming sets and stuff, man, but as for rank goals and everything, all that other stuff goes, man, that stuff was, basically wasn't, nobody, you know, basically people wasn't trying to follow with it, man. So, you know, there's a guy, like I said, man, he was a main Spanish Cobra. He was a main Cobra, IDC at least. His name was Devious, and they said him and old boy fell out, you know, and then he had him killed. That's the rumor, so I don't know. See, another thing too about what happened with the one guy, man, the Chewy, Cobra Chewy brought a bunch of guys, bro, that wasn't from this neighborhood. Trying to, like, you know, I don't know if they were trying to, you know, give shots, because he got out and he was trying to basically get everything back in order. He got out, he was trying to get everyone to claim Cobras again. All the folks that, you know, all the people who tore it off and started claiming folks, and you know, try to get them to rejoin again or whatever, man. And if not, man, you know, he used to deal with them, man. You know, he said it was just an ass whooping most of the time, but you know, other things happen, man. I don't know if someone else did, but they end up putting all the blame on him for it. But yeah, so that's what happened with that, man. So, but what I heard, man, a lot of these guys from this area, this set, I don't know which ones were, but they're participating on the, you know, cops taking down Cobra Chewy. All right, so you had those over there, man, and now, like I said, man, that whole side, this whole side was mainly Cobra Hood, but yet, like I said before, in the middle, like I said in the other video, in the middle of any motherfucking hood, dead smack in any hood, there's always resistance. And now I'm coming down the street called Rathbone, up to Ellesmere. There was another crew that were counts. They were called OGC counts, Olivet Gangster counts. Right? There were counts. Now, they had like 3 blocks, bro. They had like all of Rathbone, which is this block. Olivet, which is the block where the set was born at. And whatever, over there by 4th Street in Ellesmere. They had like 3-4 blocks, but the crew was small. Real small, but man, they were, you know, they were gunners, man. They held down these 3 blocks, bro. I give it to them guys. They held down these 3 blocks, these couple blocks or whatever, bro. And you know, this is Ellesmere Street, man. This is the epicenter to a lot of their beefs, man. Because this is Chamberlain. Now, you know, when you got a crew this as deep as the Cobras were on this side, you know, and then you got the Olivet Gangster counts that maybe was way smaller, bro, that, you know, had maybe this area right here by Lafayette, you know, some of Rathbone, you know, Olivet just coming up over here, man. You know, this is their hood, man, but really it wasn't too many of them, but they used to hold it down. And they used to have a lot of beefs, man. These guys used to have a lot of run-ins, bro, with each other, man, constantly down this Ellesmere Strip. This Olivet. Yeah, down this Ellesmere Strip. Oh, turn this way. Yeah, this is Olivet Street. Yeah, down that Ellesmere Strip, man, is, you know, just have a lot of encounters with each other, bro. So a lot of beefs used to jump off, man. You know, there was the OGCs, man. They had one member, bro. Rest in peace, Fat Scott. They got locked up for life for shooting the police officer because he was going to retaliate because one of his nephews or something that got shot. I really don't know the story, but someone got shot. He didn't mean to shoot the cop like all out, but he thought that the cop was, you know, was Cobra. So, you know, the cop, I guess it says in the news that the cop forgot something at a crime scene that happened at a Cobra's house, right? Or something that happened in the Cobra hood or whatever, and he was going back to search for it or something like that. And He was going back to search for it, and he couldn't. He just like walked in the middle of everything that was going on. The guy, going to shoot up whatever, or Fat Scott, going to retaliate for what happened to his nephew or whatnot. But yeah, he killed the cop, and basically, yeah, he got natural life for that, man. He passed away not too long ago, man. He exhausted all his appeals. That happened in 1995, so after that, I remember I was locked up in youth when I read about it, and I knew Fat Scott. He was real good people, man. But yeah, he got locked up for that. So he died like 4 or 5 years ago, but he exhausted all his appeals. Really not much you can do. So yeah. So there was a lot of beef between these guys and the OGCs and the Cobras, man. And it was real thick, bro. It was like, like the situation over here, like the same thing, like, I'm from like Clark Park area of Southwest, the other side of the viaducts, I call it. And, you grew up with people and everything, man, so it's the same scenario with these guys. They all knew each other because they all grew up with each other, so, probably little neighborhood beefs that didn't like each other, how you're young in the neighborhood, you end up fighting with people, beefing with people. So maybe that's how all this resistance started, man. But yeah, like I said, man, most of these guys, man, all knew each other at first, man, and end up, beefing with each other later or whatever, man. But yeah, this is Lawndale Street, man. Now, see, this is another trick too. Now, this side, like I said, man, there was a few sides over here, man, that might have had a couple counts down this street, but mainly this was all Cobra Hood. This is what's considered the Springwells Village area or whatever. Homer Street, yeah. But now, this is the thing, man, you go up this way a little bit, it's Flow Hood. Now, you go through Mullane, the story behind that, man, there used to be this clique called Cahalan Boys. And it said the Cahalan Boys, man, I think they used to be folks at first, and then they got down to people. I mean, with the, I don't know if they got down with people or with family. I think family, because I think the Cahalan Boys became either the Camel Boys or LOC's Lokes, and I'm not really sure about that. But they cross over this side over here, like Logan Street, Cahalan, Mullane, on this side of Lawndale Lane. On this side of Lawndale, like I said, man, becomes this is mainly becoming Cash Flow Hood, LOC Hood, Cash Flow Hood or LOC. I think they were LOCs at first, and which was loped out criminals. It was a small set of cash flows, man, basically, man, and eventually it became Cash Flows. All of them, mainly all of them. So I did some Southwest Troopers too. Basically, that was a family alliance, so that was a different alliance. Those, mainly had peace with the People Alliance or any sets from the People game, but mainly they were their own hookup, and mainly they were always at war with folks. So yeah, Mullane was the LOC main hood, was Mullane Street. Now, before I heard it was, before Mullane, I heard Mullane Street. I think it used to be D. King. Someone told me D. King used to be here early on. Here's Cahalan right here. Cahalan and Mullane. But yeah, these guys end up, this was really Cash Flow Hood after, pretty much after the late 90s. Pulling up on Gardner. Now, another main beef that used to happen around this area, like I said, used to be between the Cash Flows and between the Young Guns. Now, okay, some of this area used to be Young Gun Hood. Young Gun was a set that was neutrals. It was started by a guy named Big Mike back in the day. But he was a neutral set mainly. He was neutral. One minute he'll beef with the counts, the next minute he'll beef with the folks, or he'll be cool with them each. But for sure, they had a bit of war with the flows. That was a for sure thing. The young guns and the cash flows, which Young Gun Hood was over here. Whitaker, Milan. Man, it's a beautiful day out here today, man. Real beautiful. Okay, now we're crossing over on Vernon, man, and I'm driving over here now. And take it from the other side of Wood, man. Wendell, Vernon. This was all WWG hood, which I told you was that click that over here to the right, to the left, past Londo right here was Cobra Hood. Over here was WWG Hood. And like I told you, the WWGs used to be the 14th Street Cobras. Somehow they came over here and these guys struck some kind of deal, man, because all these guys over here, man, the ones from this hood, they all used to be, what the hell you be? Oh no, you be up there. Used to be Young Guns. So they went from Young Guns and joined the WWG. Like I told you guys, that guy, Joey D, Batman, he started off the WWGs, but as 14th Street Cobras, at 14th Street, which is like by Courttown area, basically over there, by like sort of like Courttown or whatnot or whatever. So it sounds like he came over here to this side of the hood over there, and like I said, there used to be all Young Guns over there, which was a neutral clique, and then all of a sudden, boom, these guys become WWGs. I don't know how that, how all that worked out, how you convinced them to become, whatever. How you convinced them to join the WWG, with most of them guys being neutral or whatnot. But yeah, this ended up becoming WWG Hood, which is this side of Vernon on Woodmere, by Pam Park side, basically. So, I'm sorry, it turns right here. It drives to the park, Pound Park. So, yeah, we're driving down. I think this is still Woodmere. Because it turns. Now this is, WWG Hood. I remember some of it used to be D King Hood. Over there, some of it used to be D King Hood. I think back in the day. Or I guess it was a clique called Third World Gangsters. Now I don't know how true that was around here or whatever. And the colors were purple or black or whatever. I heard that in the early 90s, but basically from the mid 90s on out, it was WWGs around here. This whole neighborhood was WWGs, Worldwide Gangsters. Alright, I'm trying to see what street will take us to Pitt. Yup, Lawndale will take us to Pitt. So, we're coming up right now, man, Lawndale and Pitt, which was their main hood, man. You know what, we did drive down here, you used to see these motherfuckers a lot. You used to even see the fire hydrants spray painted because the colors were green and black, right? So the fire hydrants was spray painted, man. They'll spray paint them green and black, man. These tripped out. So this was all WWG hood through here. from 90 to, from the like mid 90s to 2000. This was all Worldwide Gangster Hood. In the early 90s, it was Young Guns, and then, whatever, they flipped over to Worldwide Gangsters, and which was Folks, and, right here. This was the hood, all through here. So they were pretty deep, man. They had some numbers. This shit used to be all tagged out all over, man. You still see some of it if you go through them dirty alleys. See some of their old stuff. But, man, pretty much after that, man, them guys got, cleaned out, man. I don't know whatever happened to that Joe D dude. That band, man, I never heard nothing really happen, Then, after the 90s, man, they cleaned pretty much all of us out, man. I mean, the 2000s, when the 2000s started off, it was basically just Sureños and Counts around here. Sureños had made their presence around here by then. But, in the 90s, game banging 90s, this was all WWG hood. And I think now some Counts are around here. Some Counts are around here, and I think some WWG's around here too, not sure. Crescent and Pit, this building. Now that building is where, rumor has it, where the Young Guns started from. Yeah. Now this is Central and Pit. Pretty much when you cross over in Central, was all cash flow hood. Now we're going into right here. People got big vehicles, don't know how to drive them, man. Now when you cross over to this side, man, Central and Pit, it'd be all cash flows. Now, cash flows used to be extremely deep around here, man. That was all the way from the, 80s to the 2000s, man, And this was their hood, man, over here, and they held it down. They had it, man, for a long, long time. They had a major indictment, took them down. But, yeah, this was all cash flow hood, man. Like I said, man, they used to have big beefs with the WWGs. There were Young Guns and they became WWGs, and they used to have big beefs over there, man. So yeah, Staring Pit. There used to be an apartment building here on Staring Pit, man. I swear there used to be like 1,000 cash flows. He used to fucking come out there, motherfucker, every time, man. Because, growing up, man, most of my beefs ended up being with cash flows. But the whole thing with the cash flows and Counts beef, man, it was more like a friendly rivalry beef, man. Nothing really serious ever happened between the two, man. No Count ever killed the cash flow, no cash flow ever killed the Count, and nothing like that. In my era, my time, what I'm saying, when I was, coming up, none of that stuff never ever happened, man. So, 1 minute we'll be beefing, the next minute, we don't. It's nuts, man, nuts. Most of them guys grew up with each other. The ones that were like the older Counts and the older flows, they all knew each other from younger. So that's why them beefs never really, jumped off, man. But that's why I did this term, man, because I'm gonna show you. I remember when when I first was involved with everything. When I first started coming around, it was like 1992. When I moved over here permanently with my mother in Southwest. So You know, right shortly, man, I came, it was like the summer 1992. There was a big indictment on the counts. They indicted a bunch of counts, like earlier in the spring. Called it Operation Countdown or something. Yeah, some shit. So, a lot of, like I said, man, a lot of the heads of the counts was taken down. A lot of stuff like that, man, was, you know, knocked off or whatever. But, you know, shit really got this, you know, got crazy, man. A little bit. I walked into like in the middle of a bunch of crazy shit. Like I knew a bunch of cash flows. I was like, okay, at least these guys are my allies. And you know, when I came back around this center, this street used to be deep as hell at too, man. We got into a big fight one time over here. My car broke down, and there was a bunch of them coming up the block. So. Yeah, man, they had a party. There was a party. Now, I don't know if it was a regular dance or someone's quinceañera or just someone's party. I don't know what it was, man. But like I said, up here, Azteca Hall, man. Right up there, dude, Azteca Hall. That's the only thing I remember that being infamous for, man, was when they had that party and the counts and the cash flows got into a big old fight. And one shot the other one and fucking... a big beef jumped off, man, and that's how that counts and cash flow war started. There's at least 3 big wars that the counts and cash flows had with each other when everyone was out and about, and you know, and now, man, I don't know. Now, I honestly don't know how any of this stuff works anymore, man. I don't. Which is all right, man. It's, you know, that's stuff from the past, dude. You know. I think everyone's pretty much alright with each other now, man. But, yeah. Like I said, man, yeah. But, yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Man, you guys hit that like button, man. Subscribe, share, whatever, man. I know I ain't real good with the videos yet, but I'll figure it out, man. I'll get it going, man. I'll get it freaked out and all that. Alright, man. Have a good day.